I know the North American culture is a lot less British and colonial than the Jamaican culture, right? Just comparing it to Jamaica. I know that there's non-Jamaicans on here, guys. We're from Jamaica. We're going to talk about Jamaica a little bit. Hush.
I don't think they would get that. Hush. Hush is like shh.
That's Jamaican. It's Jamaican for sorry.
Yeah.
But in Jamaica, it's very colonial-like in terms of your manager is Mr. or Mrs. You dress very formally to work, and your shoes clink, clunk, 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 clunk when you walk. And that's kind of the work culture that we're used to. I mean, when you go to school, we wear uniforms and all that stuff. Like, it's kind of like more relaxed in North America, as you've seen on TV. They don't wear it. What do you think is the work culture like here? Because you've worked on campus before at residence. You've worked on campus at the gym. You have done warehouse jobs, and you did random filling jobs.
Yeah.
And now you're at like a corporate, a more formal, professional context. What are for you similarities between all the work experiences in terms of how formal it is with your manager, and compared to Jamaica? I know you've never really, really worked in Jamaica, but we know what it's like. What is it like?
I think actually, depending on what you're going into here, it will have a similar kind of level of formality as Jamaica, because we're in more of construction.
Yeah.
Even though we aren't necessarily on site all the time, almost they want you to be ready to just put on a hard hat and some steel toe boots, kind of.
I did that today. So, we work in construction, so, it's a little bit less formal.
Yeah.
So you think that's across?
Yeah, I think if you're working in law,
yeah.
If you're working in finance,
banking, probably,
if you're working in politics or something like that, you're still, retail, entertainment, those will be very informal.
Okay.
Tech will be informal.
Yeah.
But the traditional jobs that you would find in Jamaica, which is finance, banking,
right,
law,
usually jobs that deal with clients face to face, because we don't deal with clients face to face.
Yes, exactly. Would require to be in formal attire.
But what about the Mr. and the Mrs.?
They try to it's very political, and I think that is an international thing. My sister tells me about her experience when she has had jobs when she's worked for someone, and her experience is kind of mirror mine in some ways. They try here, I think, to be a bit more friendly and appear more approachable. She mentioned, I don't have actual experience working in Jamaica, so I can't compare my personal experience, but I don't think that it would be that different if you're in the same industry.
Okay.
No, it was very.
So he has twisted hair.
Yeah, my hair.
So his hair is twist. I used to be his hairdresser, but he fired me. Actually, no, I wasn't very nice the last time. I think he just
She fired me.
It used to be like an all-day adventure.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't anymore. But yeah, so you have grown here. You kind of have your beard a little bit.
Yeah.
Why? Can I ask you a question about sleeping at dorm? Just step in. Was it expensive to live on dorm?
It was, but I had OSAP, and I was also getting some assistance from my family.
Well, that's just because OSAP is because you're a permanent resident.
Correct.
But maybe, all right, so from the perspective of an international student, say for instance, an international student doesn't have any family here, right? Because there's a couple of people who message me and I don't have any family, where I'm like, come and stay at the Airbnb and then figure it out. But do you think it's affordable for an international student? An international student already paying $15,000-$17,000 for tuition.
Yeah, no, it's high. The cost to live on dorm in that kind of space was probably around the same amount as my apartment that I just got for myself.
But then it's the same then.
Yeah.
So if an international student is coming here, living on dorm is probably the same cost as...
It's the same cost, but the advantage is the proximity to your school. You are
so you're not paying money to commute.
Yeah, exactly. And you're also fully immersed in that community.
Yeah.
So like I made a lot of friends. Like the reason why I was able to have somewhere to fall back on was because I was on dorm and I developed some pretty good friendships.
So living on dorm is a viable option.
It is.
If you're coming here, you don't know anybody, and yes, it might be, maybe it's going to be a little bit more expensive than renting your own place. But then you're paying less in commutes because you can rack up quite a high bill if you don't live in Toronto, especially if you're transiting from Brampton and stuff like that. Like I don't know anybody that lived on res, but I mean, if it's something that is open or it's you can look into as an option to live on residence while you go to school and then find somewhere after school finish.
Yes, and just to clarify, a lot of the students that don't live on dorm but aren't from Canada or, you know, don't have family in or around the campus, they would stay in rooms. So what I was saying is equivalent in price is an apartment to yourself.
Yeah.
So I have my own kitchen, fridge thing.
But
I'm
maybe
not talking about
maybe a basement would be cheaper.
Maybe.
Than living on res.
Yeah. So yeah.
And a
so
room
if
in somebody's house.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
A room in a house, a basement is cheaper than dorm.
Living on res.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you have to commute. So you just have to factor all of that in because it's more expensive, but it's cheaper.
Yeah, you still need to commute even if you're on dorm, you still have to go to the supermarket.
And time is money.
Yeah, and I mean, like while I was on dorm, I did have access to all of the amenities of the school campus, so I was able to, you know, use the gym, print, the computer rooms, blah blah blah, library at like all hours, you know. So there's definitely benefits to that, and also the student what do you call those things, the student grouped, you know, the people that put on events and all that stuff, like they have stuff all the time. So if you're there or if you don't have to
you can
go
to a fete.
you don't have to go 2 hours back
go to
home.
the Kappa Gamma
Exactly,
Sigma.
you know, if you don't have 2 hours back to home, so you have to leave and you have to catch the go bus. You have to catch the go bus because the last go bus is at hour. Then you know, it was a nice experience. If you think that you can afford it, I think it's a good.
And the thing is that I wouldn't even go and say, oh well, this is what it costs, because when you were in school, that was the year over 5 years ago, right? So I feel like even asking what the cost right now is irrelevant.
Yeah,
because
it's been like more than doubled in some places.
Triple.
Yeah, the costs are crazy. Like this building that I currently live in.
Yes.
When I first went, the cost was showing as $750. Then when I actually went there, they said, "Oh no, that's a lie. That's wrong." It actually turned out to be $800. Which was expensive at the time, or fairly expensive.
Yeah, in that year, 2013, 14.
Yeah, and then now, if you're a new person in that building,
$1,600.
it's $1,400.
$1,400 for a studio.
Yeah, so now it's the same size, but they put up a drywall and turn it into a 1-bedroom.
Oh, okay.
So it's technically a 1-bedroom, but it's the same space, but just with a wall separating the room.
Okay, like a little drywall, but it's really a studio that they've turned into a 1-bedroom.
Exactly. So it's now $1,400. So in the 6 years, almost double. Yeah.
But you don't have to pay utilities.
Yeah, I don't have to pay. I don't.
So a new person would have to pay $1,400
plus utilities.
And if you have a car, you probably have to pay for parking.
Yeah.
So it's double.
Yeah. So I got the place, moving with my air mattress, and that's all what was in the place.
You had an air mattress, a stove, and a fridge.
So just over the years, I accumulated more furniture. I eventually bought a table and chairs. I bought a desk. and
Started from the bottom now.
yeah, and just like, you know, now I have too much things. I'm trying to get rid of things out of my apartment.
But so that's a little bit about Dwight's story. You lived on res at school. That's an option. If you are coming to Canada, you don't have anywhere to live. It's probably a little bit more expensive, but then you don't have to commute. So it's definitely something to take into consideration.
And it's a good opportunity to network.
And it's a good opportunity to network when you're in school. And if you live at school and you have a little on-campus job, then you know you can use that to help you pay for stuff.
Exactly.
And then you don't have to do a bunch of commuting. So I mean, it's an option. I don't know what it costs right now. We can do a different video about that to see how that goes. And how do you think that our community, here we are as told by Canadian immigrants, is beneficial? How do we help? Or what do you like about our community?
Yeah, I think what you're doing is like extremely helpful for anybody that is even, you know, just remotely thinking about moving here. You're kind of eliminating some of the questions that they probably wouldn't be able to get answers to. You know, like you're giving them too much information maybe in some instances. So that is really cool. I mean, my experience is a bit different where before I actually moved here, I'd been coming here very often
as a visitor.
Yeah, but a resident, but I was visiting. Yeah, so my experience, I was very familiar with the place before moving here, and you know, but
so even though he didn't have a plan, it was okay because it's not like foreign.
Yeah, it wasn't that foreign. So for somebody that is like completely packing up them life and coming here, I think when you came here, it was the first time you'd ever been to Canada. Yeah, exactly. So for the people that have never been here and have no kind of comfort in terms of their status in the country, this is priceless. You know, from what I think. Yeah.
So I appreciate the time you take to watch our videos. Thank you for joining our community. Remember to subscribe to our channel. Join, because it's probably somewhere on the screen somewhere.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our channel and join our immigrant community. Spread the word about our community. People can join. You can send us messages on Facebook, on Instagram, on email, or comment in the section below on YouTube. It don't mean that we're going to respond to the same day, just because sometimes we get like a high volume of emails or people trying to get in contact. All right, so that is it from us right now. Thank you for watching. We will see you, maybe just me, in the next video. Until then, keep the faith.
Peace.